Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Motor Racing Team. We are competing in motorsport as a fun experience, and we're kind of unique because most of our sponsorship is through crowdfunding through lovely people like you. So thank you very much. This is part 3, the final episode in the series where we document us competing in the Jersey Rally in our 1969 Mark II Classic Mini. If you missed the first 2 episodes, please go back and watch them. It's vlog style, so it's kind of unique for us. We have supporters who become virtual members of the team by becoming patrons or YouTube members, or supporting us in all sorts of inventive ways. And to thank those people, we make a video every week known as the midweek update video. And what you're about to see is one of those midweek update videos that I made literally the day that we got back from the Jersey Rally. It covers what we thought of the event, a bit more detail in basically what went wrong, and how much it all cost. If you'd like to be sent these videos on a weekly basis, please consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member. It only costs a few quid a month and it really helps the team. So please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe and comment if you like it. Let's run VT.
This clip is especially for you. Errol, run VT.
These videos are for teammates, patrons, sponsors and YouTube members. Your support, as always, is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh, what have we been up to this week? Of the Jersey Rally? Oh, what time is this? It is 8 p.m. on, what day is it? Tuesday evening.
Here, tell us, Spassbecker, what actually was your crime?
Whistling on a Tuesday, Jester.
Yeah, we've literally just got off the ferry this morning. We're very tired. We did the overnight ferry last night. We arrived here 8 o'clock this morning, and we basically spent the day unloading the van, you know, washing all our clothes, packing stuff away, and we're pretty much knackered. I'm gonna right from the off, I'm gonna have to say a massive thank you to everybody who's helped make the Jersey Rally happen. Thank you to Marvin's estate agency for paying for our pre-written pace notes. Everybody that's bought a t-shirt that's helped fund tyres. Island Auto Care, who fitted those tyres onto our rims for us. Everyone that bought a raffle ticket for our Jersey raffle. And that raffle was kindly supported by Lee Morey of Mac Tools Isle of Wight, Arson Fire from Adgeston Vineyard, Solent Marine Services, Robinson's Jewellers and Peter Gennari. Thank you so much. Between them, they've made a fantastic prize package, and from this we managed to raise £550. And believe it, that's going to come in really handy. We'll talk about how much the rally cost at the end. And who was our lucky winner of the Jersey raffle? It was Jonathan Randall. Woo! Well done, well done. Again, thank you to everybody who entered the raffle. Well, what did we think of the Jersey Rally? Well, both of us absolutely loved it. So we arrived on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday was recce. Thursday, service area opened at 10 a.m. Scrutineering was at 5 p.m, so that gave us loads of time to set up our little service area and get things ready. Our service area looked amazing thanks to our gazebo, and we were servicing right next to Kevin Blackford in his white 1275 GT and local boy Kevin Shales in his green Mini. As I said, our Mini was ready to go off the trailer. We basically just had to clean the windows, Katrin put all the stickers on, and in theory we should just be chilling out waiting for scrutineering at 5 p.m. However, Kevin Blackford messaged us a few days before the rally and said, life has kind of just got in the way and I haven't finished my Mini yet. I've just got a few little jobs to do, and we said, that's fine, don't worry, just bring it. We'll go all hands on deck and we'll put finish off all the bits for you while you're here. But even Kevin Blackford admitted that he didn't realise how much still needed doing to his car. What? Right. I've made a list of things that I can remember that had to be done to it. The valve clearances need sorting. The door cards needed fitting. The door handles and levers had to be refitted. There is a story about that. We'll talk about it later in another video. I had to reconnect all the wiring in the dashboard and the headlights and the indicators. I had to fit a new safety cutout switch. For some reason that wasn't working properly. We had to fit a new horn because that decided not to work. Kevin had to refit the plumbed in fire extinguisher pipes that go around the engine bay. Also had to fit the seat frames and the seats themselves. And then obviously fit the harnesses. I'm sure there were more things that we had to do, but that's all I can remember off the top of my head. So what have we done so far? It was tappets.
Yep.
You're now doing the fire extinguisher, done the fuel system.
Electrics, extinguisher cables, kill switch cables, mud flaps, fog light, horn, front grille, tracking, camber.
It's 2 o'clock, scrutineering starts at 5. We'll be fine. It was bonkers. We spanned on it so hard to try and get him ready, and we did. I think he was pretty much the last car to get scrutineered. And I really enjoyed it. I love being service crew, I really do. And to say, the good news is the scrutineer passed his car and we were all ready to go for the rally the next day. Oh, we did have a couple of issues actually. When we went in to do the sound test, we were lining up, and then all of a sudden I clocked that the rev counter wasn't moving. When I was revving the engine, I was thinking, oh no. The scrutineer was fine. He was saying, oh, let's just guess what your RPM is and we'll do a noise test. So obviously we passed that. It turned out that when I fitted a Deutsch connector to it, I hadn't actually pushed the pin all the way in till it clicked. So when I pushed the two connectors together, it pushed it out slightly and that stopped it. So anyway, that was just a real simple thing to do. Other one was when we were actually in the rather nice indoor scrutineering bays, the brake lights didn't work. I'd blown a fuse, but luckily inside the car, I've got a little chart to show me which fuse does what. I just swapped the fuse out, all fixed. I think I've got it here somewhere. I keep it inside the door card with Katrin's paperwork because that's right next to the fuse box and I really want to know what fuse goes where, what size it is, etc. Bit geeky, I know, but in the heat of battle, you need to know that stuff. So the rally started with a ceremonial start, which we've never done before. And then it was a road section to the first rally. We were car number 91. Obviously the car in front of us was car 90. It was a local team. And when we did the road section and we arrived at the stage arrival, car 90 was nowhere to be seen. We lined up behind car 89. It just shows you how important doing recceing and knowing where you're going on road sections is hugely important, because if you're early to stage arrival, you get some time penalties. If you're late, you get time penalties. Those bits are just as important as the rally itself, and Kevin Shales found that out to his detriment later on in the event. I mean, our first 6 rally stages were absolutely amazing and Katrin was bob on with her notes. With the first couple of stages, I was actually really nervous to fully commit to some of those instructions that Katrin was giving me. It's not that I didn't trust her or the notes that she was giving me, it's just the fact that it takes a lot of courage to send a car around a series of really fast, narrow corners lined by granite walls and buildings with no comeback if it goes wrong. But slowly I built up my confidence and committing to the faster corners we were soon driving at our limit. Not particularly fast compared to obviously the teams at the front of the field, but it was our limit. Those first 6 stages are absolutely exhausting, they really were. And it's kind of brought it home to us when we came back into service and somebody else said, right, well that's 25% of the rally done then, and we were like, it's gonna be a long event. So obviously for the night stages, we swapped the grill out and put the grill with the LED lights on it, which is the right choice compared to the old Lucas lights. And then it was off to drive the next road section to the first night stage, and that's where our first proper mistake arose. So the rules say that you're not allowed to recce the actual rally stages during night time. I think it's like dusk till dawn. Absolutely, if you get caught doing that, there's big consequences and you might get banned from the rally. So you can only do it in the daytime. The road sections, there were no rules about that. But of course, what we did is we went and recce'd all the rally stages during the daytime, and of course, going back and forth from them, we were recceing the road sections and making notes. But on our way to the first night stage, it all of a sudden dawned on us that everything's completely different on the road in the dark. You can't see buildings, you can't see trees, you just can't see anything around you. So about halfway towards our first stage, Katrin sort of went, I've got a feeling we've gone too far. We should have turned off earlier, and she kind of lost track of where she was, and I was looking around going, oh well, I haven't got a clue where we are. It didn't take too long for us to figure out where we were and carry on, but there was always the risk that we were going to be late and get a penalty. But luckily, or unluckily for whoever it was involved, there was a crash on the stage, and that meant there was a queue going into stage arrival. So we just joined the back. Nobody was any other wiser because, you know, nobody had basically clocked in yet. The lesson that we've learnt is those road sections that you would do at night, you need to recce those at night. On the note of crashes though, there were plenty. Being seated at the back, we saw an awful lot of carnage. There were cars that hit the walls, there were cars that hit buildings, grass banks, down in ditches, and unfortunately even one of the V8 TR7s actually ended up on its roof, blocking the road completely. Everyone says that finishing this rally is the exception rather than the rule, and both my fellow Kevins have not finished this rally in the past. Kevin Blackford last year on his first attempt, he hit a wall, broke his suspension, obviously damaged the body and everything else. So he had to retire last year, and that explains why his car was all in bits, because he was trying to rebuild it for this year. Kevin Shales rolled his Mini a few years ago, and last year he retired on stage 1 of the day 1 because of a gearbox issue. I think it was something to do with his diff. So the attrition rate is absolutely massive at this event. Night stages, I absolutely loved the night stages. I really did. Katrin admitted that she struggled to keep up with the notes and got lost a few times. This meant that I had to describe the bends as I was driving through them, and then she was looking down the notes to try and see something that matched. But yeah, she did. She found her place again, and then we carried on. After the first 2 stages, we were required to go back for a 15-minute service. But on our way back, the headlights started to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and we're going, oh, what's going on here? Literally 2 junctions from the finish, we had no headlights, the indicators didn't work, and when we actually got in and opened the bonnet, we realised that the alternator bracket had snapped, and it had taken the fan belt out with it at the same time. So it's like, oh no. Unfortunately, none of the other Kevins had a spare bracket, and with a 15-minute window, by the time we'd actually diagnosed the issue, we really didn't even have time to even do a bodge job to get us back on. So that knocked us out of the rally for Thursday, unfortunately. However, Oz, who was servicing for Kevin Shales, absolute legend and a member of the Jersey Mini Owners Club, he rushed home out of his own parts department, brought back the bracket that we needed so that we could fix it. And while everyone was out doing the stages, we fixed it all up, made it work so that we could rejoin the rally on the Saturday. So Oz, you are a legend, you really are. At the time, we sort of came up with a few sort of theories why that happened, but now we have a better understanding, and I'm going to show you that to you now. So the bracket that broke is right down there. So the alternator pivots on these 2 bolts here, and down there there's like a little pinch bolt, and this thing just rocks up and down. You pull the alternator up, clamp it down there, job done. And it was that bracket down there that broke. And looking at it, Oz picked it up. He says, "Your alternator's not in line." And I went, "Why not? It should be in line. You know, that's something that you always check." But you can see that the alternator's slightly twisted, and we couldn't work it out. There's like a little bush in here that you can push in and out to adjust it. And what it's turned out is that this bracket here that bolts to the block, these holes have overlised. No matter how much we mess around with it, you know, you clamp that up really tight, and then when you pull the alternator to tension it, it just slides and moves. Actually, this bracket here that's been messing us around put so much stress on the adjusting bracket that then snapped. I was just going to put a brand new standard metal one on there. MED make an absolutely beastie one of those, because when you read the description they go, well, it's a common thing that actually flexes and all sorts of stuff. When we were running all the lights, it must have put an awful lot of load on that alternator. It's obviously doing a bit of that, and that's what moved that bracket. My ethos with any of this is if it's happened once, it's going to happen again. So over engineer it so it doesn't happen again. So yeah, I know that bracket's quite expensive, but I think I don't want it to happen again. It knocked us out of the rally. The good news is, because we'd fixed the car, we were allowed to rejoin the rally on day 2. It's what they call the trophy rally. So everybody that retired on the Friday were allowed to enter the rally again on the Saturday. Believe it or not, it was something like 35 cars retired on the Friday. So we were all lined up in our own little competition, and we could carry on. So I was so pleased that we could do that. On day 2, the car was faultless, no issues whatsoever. Although we did have a bit of drama midway through day 2. We went into one of the stage arrivals, and you have like a little time card. You know, it's like a little book where basically you write down the time that you arrive, the time you leave, and the time of your stage, and all that malarkey. So we finished the stage, we got all the information, we wrote it down, and then we had to do the road section to the next one. It wasn't far, it's only about, I don't know, maybe 3 miles to the next one. But as we were driving along, Kat was going, "I can't find my card, where's my card?" And I was going, "Don't worry, it's probably under your seat or it's fallen down wherever. We'll find it when we get to the next, stage arrival, because it's important that we arrive on time so we don't get penalties." So when we got there, Katrin all the way along and trying to navigate where to go on the road section, Katrin was looking for it, getting a bit flustered, going, "I can't find it." So when we arrived, just before we pulled into stage arrival, I jumped out, had a look under a seat, and I couldn't find it. I said, "Well, we've got to go, we have to do the next stage." All the cars go at 30-second intervals, so we knew the time that the car in front of us was going because we just saw them launch off the start line. So we knew that we would be 30 seconds behind. So we said we made sure we came in 30 seconds after them. And we were literally queuing up to start when a marshal came running along and handed Katrin's time card to her, because apparently what had happened as we driven off, like woo, off we went, the notes had gone out without Katrin noticing. So the marshal then picked it up, jumped in a car, and then followed us and gave it to us just before we did stage start. So the organiser marshals were absolutely amazing. They really were. There were 12 stages. That's right, there were 12 stages on the final day, and we went through the ceremonial finish absolutely exhausted. We really were. But the good news is, purely again through attrition, at the trophy rally, we finished 6th overall and 1st in our class. Hey, the hair of the tortoise. Unfortunately, Kevin Blackford and his navigator Andy broke down on one of the road sections back to service halfway through day 2 and had to retire. It was some bizarre engine issue that none of us could work out. It was he was experiencing lots of condensation over his inlet and his carb. So yeah, we seriously don't know. If you know, let us know what would cause that. Kevin Shells and his navigator Steve were definitely pushing hard, as it seemed like every service he was bleeding his brakes to try and stop the brake fluid from boiling. They finished 51st and 4th in class, just missing out on a podium because they got a 2-minute road section time penalty. They would have been right up there if it wasn't for that. So it just shows you that those road sections, getting the time right, are really important. But they did win the fastest 2 valves per cylinder award at the prize giving ceremony at the end at the Merton Hotel. So awesome award and well done, lads. As I keep saying, it was an amazing event and we couldn't have done it without your support, so thank you very much. Right, the big question, what did it cost? The entry fee was £968. I know that sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but that's 24 rally stages and proper, no mucking about stages. But also they pay their marshals and feeding them. So yeah, fair enough. That's the reason it costs as much as it does. The pace notes, which were kindly funded by Marvin's estate agency, were £75. There's absolutely no way that we'd have had enough time to write our own pace notes. The stages were so long and so complex, it was a no-brainer to have them written for us. So again, thank you very much, Mark. Ferry to get the service van and the Rally Mini off the Isle of Wight and back was £120. We managed to find a bit of a deal, so that's why it was that cheap. The Jersey ferry was £615, obviously return. The hotel was £665 for about 7 days, I think it was. Fuel, funded by Bin Juice. Yeah, Bin Juice is where we try and fund the petrol for our motorsport by saying stuff that I find in the bin at work. The Rally Mini, we used 80 quid's worth of petrol, and the service van, we used £100 worth of diesel. Yeah, we did an awful lot of miles because all the recce's were done in the van because you're not allowed to do it in your rally car. We have a plan for that though. The total was £2,623, but of course on top of that we had to eat, so there was food, drink and random stuff that you do while you're away. My estimate was pretty much bob on when I said it was going to cost £3,000 to do the rally. So was it worth it? Yes, it was worth every single penny. I originally said that this is going to be a one-hit wonder. At that price, we'll go over, we'll have the experience, we'll do it, and then we'll move on to another different rally next year. However, there are 2 things. First thing is, I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. The whole package was amazing. I've got a feeling that everything that we do from this point on is going to seem very, very tame in comparison. And the second one is, technically, we didn't finish the rally. So that needs rectifying. So yes, I really do want to go back and have another crack at it, especially now we're armed with a bit more knowledge and experience on how it works. Katrin, on the other hand, is not so sure. She absolutely loved the event. The experience was amazing. But she did find the navigating really, really challenging, especially compared to circuit rallying. And obviously the whole thing at night, she really didn't like that. And she admitted that she was kind of relieved that we retired halfway through the night stages because she really didn't want to go back out and do that sort of speed in the dark again. But time will tell, we'll see. And if we are going to do it again, I need to start selling stuff. So keep an eye on our eBay page because there's going to be some bin juice on there. I want to say thank you to everybody that's made this event happen. You're all legends. So until next week, ta-ta for now. Hey, this is known as feline paralysis. Because when a cat sits on your lap, you're not allowed to do anything. That's it. It's against the law to kick him off, isn't it? Yeah. It's the law. Here's me arse. Lovely. Thank you, mate. Well, I was going to do some tidying up and some sorting out, but I think that's the end of that now.